Hey guys, StarCraft here, and I'm not going to do a review today. Got some other stuff going on, so I'm putting in a quick little discussion and... Sorry. So, quick little discussion, rant, whatever. No glasses being taken off this time. Not yet, anyway. But recently, you've had both Mike Miller and Tim Lim announcing their own different, hold on a second. Sorry about that. As I was saying though, they've both been announcing their own new political comedies. Now, Tim Lim has already done about a bunch of them so far, and Mike Miller is doing his first, but already I've seen people go off saying, ugh, why are they doing that? All connecting back to the whole, we don't want politics in our comics. Guys, that statement should apply to what Marvel's done, putting their politics in. Now, if it's not your thing, you don't want those satires, that's fine. But if you're going around tweeting saying, oh, Tim Lim's a one-trick pony or whatever, then really, do you guys not know the difference? Are you guys really just that wound up that you really think that, oh, any book that's political, that has politics, icons in it is automatically political and it's just as bad as Marvel? No. Do I have to spell it out for you guys? Because that's basically what I feel like I have to do. Feels like, when you have something like this, My Hero Magademia, what makes this stand out is that, yes, it's political. It's putting political figures in the place of a lot of the My Hero Academia and a little bit of Attack on Titan. But still, though, in this case, though, it's still funny. It's more on the parody of what they're spoofing, more so than it is the politics. Again, the politics are there, obviously. You have Trump, you have a young sorry. I'm having a brain fart here. Mike Pence, why do you say Biden? Mike Pence, you have the First Lady, and all that. You have all of that, Melania and all that. You have all of those, but again, it's fitting within what they're parodying. And again, it's very anime action, but the parody of it is, what makes sense. And no better than in the Walmart book, where they basically also poke fun, and he takes that Lim and Mark Pellegrini take jabs at what's been going on in the comics these days with Iceman and Captain Marvel and Squirrel Girl and all that, and basically, and Brad Kavanaugh, what was going on with him. And they continue to make a joke out of it. They include an Infinity Gauntlet spoof, and they just go nuts with it. But it's still, the parody of it is still funny. It's still, at least for me it was anyway. I mean, yeah, it's being political, but it's still politics added on the layer of the parody that gets it out. Especially the way they handled again, those three XPs. Yeah, we basically had it be where initially they were exaggerations somewhat of what they were doing, but eventually they get turned back to normal and they're like, oh, what the heck happened? But again, it's still playing up for a laugh, all catered into and around the political politics around it. I shall point out they also had parodies of Riri and Kamala Harris and America Chavez. They even had spoof of them in there and had them interacting. And again, it fit alongside the politics. But overall, it's still an entertaining story. Hell, even though Trump's Space Force, run by Chuck Dixon, I might add, was, this one was pretty much just, this one was more political than the other two were. But it's still an exaggeration. It takes the notion of Trump's, the Space Force, and they're like, okay, well, how could that play out? And turns it up to 11 by having it be, oh, aliens have already infected us, and most of the Democrats are aliens. Okay, that's pushing it a bit, but it's still playing it for laughs. It's a lot different than the AOC comics, where they're just pure power fantasies. There's no real humor. There's no real exaggeration other than, oh, let's give them superpowers. Again, this is the case where, oh, Trump introduces the Space Force. Let's take that to its extreme, shall we? But again, in the case of the AOC comics, oh, AOC, she's talking to a group of kids and they're having to be, oh, their power is this, we have superpowers and we do this. And then she's telling the kids that. Or, oh, AOC, it turns out she's going to be like a John Connor or Sarah Connor type in a post-apocalyptic future that Trump caused. Things like that, there's no humor. It's, like I said, power fantasies for the sake of power fantasies. Now, Trump Space Force is a power fantasy to a degree, but again, it plays it up to the ludicrousy. And I'll say this, the one part that always got me that I actually did get some liking out of is when they're showing all these other Democrats are these CNNs, you find out that Obama wasn't one of those, Michelle was. Which I like that. I actually found funny because you're like, yeah, they could have just gone a little brown and say, oh, even Obama was one. But instead they would be, no, his wife was one instead. Which, again, it basically keeps it close to home, but doesn't go all the way into the fence, into the rafters. I think that's the right phrase. Again, are there some of these other books like the Incredible Trump and all that are more political? Yes, but again, they're parodying things. That's what these are parodies. Whereas, again, the AOC comics are less parodies and more just, and not even satires, really. They're just, like I said, power fantasies. Just, let's give them all this stuff. Because, again, the Trump Space Force is playing off with the ridiculousness of what Trump was promoting and suggesting. Whereas the OC comics, yeah, let's just give them, it's not compared to anything they said. I mean, hell, I'll say this. Grant Morrison coming up with that Calvin Ellis Superman because Barack Obama at one point said, oh, I was rocketed from Krypton to Earth. That's taking a line that Obama actually said and playing off of it. That is funny, and that was played straight, but still, that's what gave you the idea. I have not heard AOC or any of the others make such commentaries, at least not ones that were memorable. They were usually ones that kind of went by, flew by night and all that. It's just, there is a difference. Alright, guys? There is a difference. And I am definitely going to get the Magademia book, because one, it's the end of the trilogy, but two, also, it just looks fun and funny just by that art alone. And I'm also going to at least keep an eye on Mike's book. I'm going to see where that goes for that one. But at least with Tim Lim, he's earned it because of how good the other ones were. Fortunately, I haven't gotten his Black Hops books at all. Sorry on that one, Tim. I haven't got a chance to get them at all. But still, that's all I really had to say. Short video. But it just feels like, do I have to spell out what the difference is between a political... Actually, no. I'm not done yet. The thing is, when it comes to politics in the books, you guys know how Marvel are. Shoving it in your face and basically told, accept it, and otherwise you're an idiot. Or accept it because, like, oh, what we're saying here is basically so broad stroke. At least with Trump's Space Force, yeah, they're poking fun at certain individuals, but it's not like they're saying all Democrats are evil aliens. They're just saying it's like few were manipulating things. There is a difference slightly. I could be making excuses, I openly admit, but overall, though, it was still funny in its ridiculousness. But then you just have, again, when you do stuff like what Marvel's done in the AOC comic, where they broad stroke saying, oh yeah, all those Republicans, they're all like that. All of them are like that. Because that's the only way they can justify in their minds how people are. That's the only way they justify in their minds how people are, that the only way that these people vote for them is that they must all be crazy, evil lunatics. That's the only way they can accept it. And that's why they write it that way, because that's how their mind thinks. Whereas people like Tim Lim and all stuff, they don't play it up as everyone. They play it up as some people are lunatics, but not the entire whole political party. Things, again, like that. That's where the line is drawn, in my opinion, anyway. Is one side tries to shove it down your throat and say, our side is the only way, your side is evil. The other side is more like, hey, look at the ridiculousness of this. And again, the fact is, even with Trump, it's played for laughs. It's played where even Trump is just, like, as All Might and all. It's so ridiculous, but you're like, oh, Lord. Now, again, if you see this cringe, that's fine. But these things should still be allowed to exist and not be in the same ballpark as the Marvel stuff, because it's completely different. look, again, now I'm wrapping up. That's all I really had to say. I don't mean to rant, but this was really bothering me, and maybe I got my point across, maybe I didn't. I just had to say something. So until then, I'll catch you guys all later. See ya.